Hi everyone, welcome to GemChem. Now today's video is an ionic equilibria part 6 video, and here we will deal with theory of acid-base indicators, selection of indicators and their reactions, and the qualitative treatment of acid-base titration curves, calculation of pH at various stages of the curves. Now before starting, already there are 5 videos uploaded on ionic equilibria. You can watch it. I will give the link in the description box as well as the I button present above this video. Now if you are new to GemChem, do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates. Now let us start. The thing which we are going to learn in this video is acid-base indicator. Now what do we mean by acid-base indicator? It is a weak organic acid or a weak organic base which, when undissociated, then its color differs from the dissociated form. Now suppose HIN is considered to be a weak organic compound. Now it dissociates as follows. If suppose HIN is the indicator, then when provided with water, it dissociates and gives a base, that is conjugate base, IN minus plus H3O plus. Now this acid color and base color must be different. Similarly, if a base, that is weak organic base, is considered like this one, then on adding water, we will get acid color due to the formation of an acid, HIN plus H3O plus. Now we will see the constants involved and the pH for indicator, right? Now for this reaction which we have seen now, if we consider the equilibrium constant KIN, then it is equals to IN minus, that is concentration of product, H3O plus, divided by the concentration of HIN, right? Now if we modify this one as follows to get the pH value. Okay, so H3O plus is equals to KIN HIN by IN minus. Now pH is equals to pKIN plus log concentration of IN minus by concentration of HIN. Now this pKIN stands for indicator constant. Indicator constant. Okay. Now we will see different things. Now the relationship is obtained where the two ratios are seen between the two forms, that is IN minus and HIN minus, and it is dependent on pH. The color of the indicator as perceived by eye is dependent on this ratio which we have obtained in the previous page, right? That is this one, this ratio. Okay, so at the same time, one type of limitation is exposed by the capacity of human eye to distinguish between the two colors. This is the limitation of indicators in a admixture. So experience shows that it is difficult to recognize a color which is present below 10% of the other color. Thus, it can be assumed that when this ratio is approximately 10 or more, the solution will be characterized by the color of IN minus, that is the base part, that is IN minus by HIN is greater than or equal to 10. Then we will observe the base color. Okay, base color will be observed. And if we consider this ratio as HIN greater than or equal to 1 by 10, then the acid color will be observed. So when this case occurs, if we consider 10, then in this case, since acid color is observed, we can write it as pH equals to pKIN plus log 1 by 10, right? And it comes to be as pKIN minus 1, whereas in this case pH is equals to pKIN plus log 10, which is equals to pKIN plus 1, right? Now we have obtained a color change interval for which we can perceive with our eyes. Okay, what is the color change interval? It is this one. See, pH equals to pKIN plus minus 1. This is the color change interval. Now we will see few examples of indicator and also their pH range. So here see there is a list of compounds starting from thymol blue, which has a transition range of 1.2 to 2.8, and the color change is red to yellow. And most common is phenolphthalein, which is 8.3 to 10, colorless to red. So there are so many indicators present which are acid-base indicator and follows this type of mechanism so that colors can be observed. Now using titration we will see the application of acid-base indicator. Okay. First titration will be observed for neutralization of strong acid by strong base. Okay, now assumptions. What are the assumptions which we will do? Acids and bases are completely dissociated. Contribution of hydrogen and hydroxyl ion is negligible in comparison to that of acid or base. That is, contribution of hydrogen and hydroxyl ion will not be considered. And activity of hydrogen and hydroxyl ion is equal to respective concentrations. Now activity refers to the big term for concentration, but we will not consider activity here. We will directly consider concentration. Now see, the important part is during the titration, in the beaker we will take 100 ml of 0.1 molar HCl solution, and in the burette we will take 0.1 molar NaOH solution. Now first case is when only HCl is present, no NaOH is added. So in that case we know that concentration of H3O plus, we are going to find out the pH, right? So what will be the concentration of H3O plus? We will take it out. Concentration of H3O plus is equals to 0.1 molar, right? So pH equals to minus log 10.1, and the answer comes to be as 1. This is a pH when 0 ml of NaOH is added. When 10 ml of NaOH is added, what happens? Let us see. The H3O plus concentration gets decreased as, because see, 10 ml of NaOH reacts with 10 ml of HCl and neutralizes it completely. So now there is shortage of 10 ml of HCl. So we will get the concentration of H3O plus as follows. That is 100 minus 10 into 0.1 divided by the total volume. Now the total volume is here, that is in presence of HCl is 100 plus 10 ml of NaOH is added. So it is 110. 110, and then we will use the same formula for pH and obtain the pH as 1.09. For pH we will use the formula of pH equals to minus log base 10 H3O plus concentration, and we will ultimately get 1.09 as a pH for 10 ml of NaOH added. Now we will see for 50 ml. 50 ml also same case. So H3O plus concentration, 50 ml of NaOH has reacted with 50 ml of HCl. So we are left with 100 minus 50 HCl in the solution. That is into 0.1 by total volume, which is 150. Okay, which is 150. And here same way pH equals to minus log H3O plus concentration, and it comes to be as 1.48. In the next case, if we consider, similarly H3O plus concentration will be 100 minus 90, because 90 ml has been neutralized, 0.1 divided by 190, and pH is coming to be as, on calculation, 2.28. Right. Next we will come for 99. So 99 ml is being neutralized, so we are left with 1 ml, right? So 100 minus 99 into 0.1, and the total volume is 199, and the pH comes to be as 3.29. Now we will go for 99.9 ml of NaOH when added. So when 99.9 ml of NaOH is added, the concentration of H3O plus is 100 minus 99.9 into 0.1 divided by 199.9, and the pH here comes to be as 4.30. Now 100 ml is important. If we consider for 100 ml, see this one, 100 ml of NaOH neutralizes completely 100 ml of HCl which is present. So ultimately what we get is that the pH is in this case neutral, that is pH equals to 7.0. This is a neutral pH. Now we will go for 100.1 ml. Now there is no HCl in solution and there is excess of NaOH, that is excess of base. So we will consider OH minus concentration now. So we see that excess amount of base which is being present is 100.1 minus 100, that is 0.1 excess base, right? So 0.1 into 0.1 is the concentration of base divided by the total volume of the solution, that is 100 previously present plus, this is the concentration of, this is the volume of HCl, right, which is being neutralized, plus 100.1 which is the volume of the NaOH added. So ultimately POH from here we will 4.30. Now we require certainly pH. So pH equals to 14 minus 4.30, which comes to be as 9.7. Similarly, if 101 ml of NaOH is added, then the concentration of OH minus is given by 1 into 0.1 divided by 201. pOH comes to be as 3.30, and when we calculate pH, that is 14 minus 3.30, it comes to be as near about 10.69. Now, if we go for the next case, then OH minus concentration will be equal to 10 into 0.1 by 210, and pOH comes to be as 2.322. Now further on doing pH calculation, 14 minus 2.322 gives us 11.678. Now certainly we have got pH at different volumes added, right? So we have seen here from starting from here. So these pH will be plotted along with the volume of NaOH added in a graph, and from there only we can understand what kind of indicator can be used from this titration. Okay, so let us see the graph. Now see, we have plotted the graph and we have obtained the graph. So if we just see this one, there is a very little rise of pH from 0 to near about 100. Then there is a steep rise in this range, and where there is a steep rise, the appropriate indicator should be used in that pH range. Okay, so let us see the sharp rise. The sharp rise takes place in this case, and this pH range is from 4.3 to 9.7. Okay, this pH range is important, and if we consider this pH range, then any indicator which changes color below 4.3 would indicate equivalence point, that is the point for neutralization much earlier, and similarly an indicator changing color above 9.7 would show over titration. So what are the indicators which can be chiefly used in this range, that is 4.3 to 9.7? Let us see and go back to the chart where indicator was placed. See here, we need 4.3 to 9.7, right? So here methyl rate is between 4.2 to 6.3, right? So this is in between this one, this range. And if we consider phenolphthalein, it is 8.3 to 10. So it is much away from the equivalence point. Over titration can be shown. So the most important in this case, which can be used as a suitable reagent, can be this one, the 3. So we will use here methyl rate as indicator, and this is the way to detect which kind of indicator will be suitable to detect the end point and the equivalent point. And phenolphthalein, if used, it will show detection in this point, and thus it is of no use because equivalence point is just crossed. Okay, but sometimes phenolphthalein can also be used because it is not much away from that. Now in the next case, we are going to arrange for neutralization of weak acid and using strong base. Now if we see in the beaker, we place 100 ml of 0.1 molar CH3COH. So it is a weak acid, and in burette we use 0.1 molar NaOH, which is a strong base. Now what are the assumptions which we take? It is that contribution of hydrogen and hydroxyl ion from ionization of water is negligible. So here it should be is negligible since it is not written. Similarly, the activity is replaced by concentration. Okay, now again same case we will do this, but remember CH3COOH is a weak acid and we know how to get the formula and the pH for a weak acid. If you have not watched the previous videos, do watch it because all the formulas are related from the previous videos. Okay, so pH in this case is equals to minus log root over KAC. Now Ka for acetic acid is 1.75 into 10 to the power minus 5. Now here Ka is given and C is 0.1, which is given here. So ultimately our pH comes to be as 2.88. Now if we go for this one, that is 10 ml of NaOH is added. Remember, 10 ml of NaOH reacts with 10 ml of CH3COH and 10 ml of CH3COONA is formed. So 10 ml NaOH reacts with 10 ml CH3COOH and 10 ml of CH3COONA is formed. And we will apply the formula of pH equals to pKa plus log concentration of salt divided by concentration of acid. Now first we will take out the concentration of acid, that is CH3COOH. Since 10 ml is being neutralized by 10 ml of NaOH, so we are left with 90 ml of CH3COH into concentration divided by the total volume, which is 110. Similarly, concentration of salt can be taken as the amount neutralized actually. So it is 10 ml into, since 10 ml is neutralized, so 10 ml of salt is formed, so amount formed is 10 into the concentration, which is 0.1 divided by the total volume, which is 110. Now see here the formula for pH is pKa plus log of salt by log of acid. Now if we look into it carefully, see this one, we will just substitute the value of salt above that is present here in the CH3CONa concentration in the salt portion and the CH3COH concentration in the acid portion. And ultimately the pH which will be obtained in this case, and the pH which will be obtained in this case is 3.81. Now if we shift for the next one, if we add 50 ml of NaOH in the solution, then let us see concentration of CH3COOH comes to be as 100 minus 50 by total concentration 150 into 0.1. So it is 50 into 0.1 by 150, and the concentration of salt is CH3COONa, and it is 50 ml formation by 150 into 0.1. And this is equals to the pH coming from here, that is pKa plus concentration of CH3COONa by concentration of CH3COOH. Now if we substitute the values, ultimately pH comes to be as 4.76. When 90 ml of NaOH is added, then the concentration of CH3COOH will be 90 ml neutralized, so we are left with 10 ml of acid into 0.1 divided by 190. And the concentration of salt CH3COONa comes to be as 90 into 0.1 by 190. And same formula if we apply, pH comes to be as near about 5.71. Now for the next one, if we consider, then the concentration of acid is CH3COOH is 1 ml left, 0.1 divided by 199, and the concentration of salt is coming to be as 99 into 0.1 divided by 199, and the pH which is obtained is 6.76. Now we will go for 99.9 ml similar way, and the pH comes to be as 7.76. Now this is an important portion, that is 100 ml. When 100 ml of NaOH is added, hydrolysis of salt is considered. So hydrolysis of salt. And we know hydrolysis of salt formula, we have already derived it, and it is pH equals to half pKw plus half pKa plus log C, half log C, that is log C. The concentration C is being obtained as the concentration of salt, so 100 ml of salt is formed into 0.1 concentration divided by 200, that is total volume, and it comes to be as 0.05. So here we substitute 0.05, we know pKa value, and pKw we know 10 to the power minus 14, right? So ultimately pH in this case comes to be as 8.73. Now we will consider for 100.1 ml. Now similar case as previous one, OH minus concentration will be in excess, so 0.1 into 0.1 divided by 200 and 0.1, and this gives us the pOH which is equals to 4.301, and the pH is 14 minus pOH, and it comes to be as 9.699. Now when 101 ml is added, similar way OH minus concentration is given by 1 into 0.1 divided by 201, and the pOH comes to be as 3.3, and the pH is obtained to be as 10.7. In this case, OH minus concentration is 10 into 0.1 divided by 210, and the pOH comes to be as 2.32, and the pH comes to be as 11.68. So these are the pH obtained for titration between the weak acid with a strong base. Now we will plot these pH along with the volume of NaOH added in a graph. So see this one, this is a graph shown, and we can see that here is our equivalence point, and this part is important. So what is the range for equivalence change? If we see here more accurately, it is from 7.75 to 9.7. And if we remember this one, then in this case phenolphthalein can be useful because the change in pH is seen within this range. So for this, the indicator which can be used is phenolphthalein. Right, now we will go for the next titration. Neutralization of weak base by a strong acid. Now if you see here, then in the beaker we place 100 ml of 0.1 molar NH4OH solution. NH4OH is a weak base and the strong acid is 0.1 molar HCl solution. Now in the first case, in the similar way, we are going to find out the H3O plus concentration. So what is the formula for H3O plus concentration? H3O plus is equals to 10 to the power minus 14 root over KBC, because we are finding out the concentration of H3O plus and not OH minus, but here OH minus is being placed. So ultimately we know the C equals to 0.1 and KB is given to be as 1.8 into 10 to the power minus 5, and on substitution here pH is obtained to be as 11.3. Now in the next case, when 10 ml of HCl is added, so when 10 ml of HCl is added, it neutralizes 10 ml of NH4OH and there is a formation of 10 ml of salt, that is NH4Cl. So ultimately we get two types of concentration. NH4OH concentration, now it will be 100 minus 10 ml lost into 0.1 divided by the total volume, which is 110, and the NH4Cl concentration, which is equals to 10 ml formed into 0.1 divided by the total volume divided by the total volume. Now see, POH is being obtained by this formula, that is pKb plus log of salt by base, and ultimately on substituting these values in this formula, then we get POH as 3.79, and we know from POH we can obtain the value of pH, so pH comes to be as 10.21. Now from the next cases we will see only the concentration, so it is easy. In the similar way we have obtained, see this one, NH4OH concentration here in this case is 50 into 0.1 by 150, and for the salt NH4Cl it is also 50 into 0.1, because 50 ml lost here, that is base is lost, so 50 ml salt formation 150, and ultimately pH comes to be as 4.74 and pH comes to be as 9.26. Now for the 90 ml of addition, same case, so here NH4OH will be 10 ml left, 0.1 divided by 190, and the salt will be 90 ml formed, so 90 into 0.1 by 190. POH comes to be as equals 5.699 and pH will come as 8.301. Similarly for 99 ml, POH will come as 6.74 and pH will come as 7.26. If we go for 99.9 ml, same calculation, same way, and the pH will be obtained as 6.26. So try these on your own. Next we will go for 100 ml. Now in 100 ml hydrolysis takes place as we have seen previously. So POH here considered is equals to half pKw minus half pKb minus half log C. Now C is the concentration of salt, so it is 100 into 0.1 divided by 200, it comes to be as 0.05. So we just substitute here 0.05. pKw is 10 to the power minus 14 and pKb we know. So ultimately it is actually minus log 10 and this one, right? pKw. Kw is 10 to the power minus 14, and then we will go for 0.1 ml. So here what is excess? Here HCl is excess, and how much excess? 0.1 ml. So concentration of H3O plus here is 0.1 into 0.1 divided by the total volume, which is 200.1, and here the pH comes to be as near about 4.3. Direct calculation, minus log 10 H3O plus concentration, right? Now we will go for 101 ml. So here H3O plus is 1 ml extra into 0.1 divided by 201. So pH comes to be as 3.303. Here H3O plus and 10 ml extra. So ultimately this pH comes to be as near about 2.32. Now we will plot these pH and the HCl added in a graph. So see here, there is a steep decrease in the pH and the equivalence point starts from here and ends here, right? So we will consider this range. And what is this range? It is from 4.3 to 6.26 to be precise. Okay. Now, what kind of indicator is useful in this case? This is a very important question. So see here, if we consider the chart, then in this range lies bromocresol green, methyl red, that is this one, methyl red, and also methyl orange. So these can be used, where methyl orange is much below, not much below but certainly below, and bromocresol green is also a little below range but it also occurs, and this one is perfect, methyl red. So here in this case we can use any of these three indicators. So these may be used, that is bromocresol green, methyl red or methyl orange. Now we will go for the next part. And this is the last part, that is neutralization of weak acid by weak base. Now this titration is a little bit different from the other ones, and here if we see, we can see that here is a weak base and here is a weak acid. That is, in the beaker we place a weak acid and we titrate it using NH4OH, which is a weak base. So we know that the concentration of a weak acid, H plus concentration, is taken out by using the formula KAC, and we have already seen Ka value, so it ultimately comes to be as pH equals to 2.9. Now here 10 ml of NH4OH is added, so there is a formation of salt, which is CH3COO NH4. Same formula which we applied there was pH pKa plus log of salt by acid. Okay, now concentration of salt, if we write as S concentration, then it comes to be as 10 ml formed into 0.1 by 110. Similarly, so concentration of acid is 90 ml left into 0.1 divided by 110. And if we substitute the values, pH comes to be as near about 3.79. Now, when 50 ml is added, similarly concentration of salt becomes 50 ml of CH3COO NH4 formation into 0.1 divided by 150. And the concentration of acid is 50 ml left into 0.1 divided by 150. And here the pH comes to be as 4.74. Now, if we go for the next one, where we are using 90 ml, then concentration of salt is 90 ml formation of salt into 0.1 divided by 190, and acid left is 10 into 0.1 by 190. And the pH on applying the same formula is obtained as 5.699. Thus, we are seeing a trend of pH being increased, right? So this trend must be remembered. Concentration of salt here is 99 into 0.1 divided by 199, and acid is 1 into 0.1 divided by 199, and the pH comes to be as near about 6.74. Now, this particular two things, that is 99.9 ml solution and 100.1 ml solution, on being added will give us an erroneous result where we will see an abrupt rise and abrupt fall in the pH. So we will not consider these two values while plotting the graph. So remember this, these two values, if we see these two values, will not be used to plot the graph, but still we will calculate. So here same thing, the concentration of salt here in this case is 99.9 into 0.1 divided by 199.9, and acid is 0.1 into 0.1 divided by 199.9, and the pH comes to be as 7.74. Whereas when 100 ml neutralization occurs, we know hydrolysis of salt takes place. This is for which type of salt? Weak acid and weak base. So the formula also changes. So pH equals to half pKw plus half pKa minus half pKb. We know pKw, we know pKb, we know pKa. So ultimately it is 7. Now again, the erroneous result for this one is the salt concentration in this case. Now remember, there is 100 ml already salt formation, right? So no more salt formation will occur because now only excess of NH4OH will be added. So here this concentration will remain fixed in all cases, 200.1, and the acid base concentration will increase now. Base concentration is 0.1 into 0.1 divided by 200.1, and here the formula changes, that is this one. This formula will be used. POH is equals to pKb plus log of salt by base, and here in this case POH comes to be as 7.74 and pH comes to be as near about 6.255. Now if you observe here, we see that there is an abrupt rise here, an abrupt fall of pH in this case, that is 100.1 ml of solution. Now we will go for the last two solutions. Now for 101 ml, the concentration of base is 1 into 0.1 divided by 201, and the concentration of salt remains fixed, that is 100 into 0.1 divided by the total volume, that is 201. Just the total volume is changing, but the ml remains same because no more salt formation occurs. Now see, pH in this case comes to be as 7.26. POH is obtained to be as 6.74, from which we obtain 7.26. Now here in this case, base excess present is 10 ml into 0.1 divided by 110, and the salt present is 100 ml into 0.1 divided by the concentration total 100 ml into 0.1 divided by 210, and POH is obtained as equals to 5.74. pH is obtained as 8.26. Now if we plot these things in the graph, we see gradual increase in the pH, and there is no steep increase, right? There is no sharp increase. There is a gradual increase throughout the neutralization. So it is expected that no single indicator can produce a sharp color change for this titration. As such, titration has no sharp indicator for it, so these titrations cannot be carried out using any single indicator. For this, we require a type of mixed indicator. Suppose a mixture of neutral red and methylene blue can be useful to give a sharp color change at pH 7.0, and the color change will be from violet blue to green. So this graph does not help us to obtain an indicator of its choice. So we require a mixed indicator, right? Now we will go for the checkpoint. Take a screenshot and try to do it on your own self. Now this checkpoint is for the previous video where we have dealt with solubility. As told that the checkpoint will be given in the next video, so this is the checkpoint, and this video particular topic does not have any checkpoint. So here I end the series of ionic equilibria. Hope this was helpful. If you have any doubt on this, you can ask me in the comment box. So this much for today. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe and comment.